Hey folks, Papa Boris here, playing some more Altered TCG. Let's go ahead and do a game with the crazy faction, Lyra. So this is the faction for people who are insane. I will never ever play this. I hate everything about it, but basically this is the faction of rolling dice, possibly getting screwed, and then you just have to live with that and be okay with it and have a good time with it. Or just getting high rolls and then you're making your opponent rage. So if you want to play a deck that maybe makes you rage or maybe makes your opponent rage, this is the one to play. I'm going to do just a really simple dumb thing. We're just going to mana all of our big cards and then think about everything else later. Once my opponent has made their selection, we'll also talk about the hero power for this particular hero. By the way, just so we're clear, this game has 6 factions. You pick a faction, and then your deck can contain only cards from that faction, but each faction has 3 heroes, so not all of the Lyra decks will have this hero power. So what this does is you tap it, you choose a character, and then probably the character gets a boost. Probably. But if you roll a 6, instead the character gets anchored, meaning it doesn't go away from the board during that round. Although if you get a 1, you just send that character to the reserve. So you just kill your own card. That's just a thing that happens. Yeah, it's pretty great. So here, first turn. This is actually a really, really strong effect. Unfortunately, I'm the first player, so it doesn't actually make sense for me to play it. We're just going to play this 4/4 for 3, which is honestly pretty great. The cool thing about this is that, like a lot of other hero powers, it gives essentially a boost, but you get to choose when you give it, and you get to choose who gets it, unlike just getting a token out or first character played gets the boost. You can kind of time it and pick either lane to suit your needs. Now, in this turn, unless my opponent plays something really crazy, which I don't think this faction is going to, 4 should be enough. So rolling the dice is, is kind of stupid. Maybe you get anchored and this thing sticks around, but maybe you also send it to the reserve and then you just lose the game. If you're gonna be dumb enough to play with this hero, you need to roll the dice. Here we go! Actually, what I could do is I could target my opponent's creature and take a chance that they you roll the die first? Oh my god. Oh my god. It's a character you control, right? So you can't YOLO it on your opponent hoping for a 1. Oh my god. Oh Jesus. I feel bad for my opponent. So my massive character here got anchored. It's 1 in 6 odds. 1 in 6 odds, it could have killed it off the board, sent it to my own reserve, but it got anchored. So now it's just going to be here at the beginning of the next round. Just, 4 free stats. Unless it's possible this is a desert-only zone, in which case it does nothing. But as long as this zone has either forest or water, that's a massive advantage. All right, my opponent just played this, which is a 3/2 for 2, which is pretty good. Getting 3 of any stat for 2 mana is fine, as long as that stat is relevant. And on the first turn, all stats are relevant. My opponent made a grievous blunder, though. They should have played this in the other lane, because the 2 desert would have beaten my 0 desert. They could have advanced here. They were already advancing here. I have no mana. They were already advancing here with their 1/1. So that's, it's early days. This is the beta. This beta's going away on February 5. I mean, people are going to be playing badly. That's like the funnest time. It's like the wet and wild time in the early days of a trading card game where people don't know what they're doing. I still remember, like, back in the Hearthstone days, you could just, like, dominate Hearthstone Arena while making horrible mistakes. And then over time, I just stopped being able to win because people got better and I didn't. Okay, let's see what we got here. Asmodeus. So I can't play it this turn. Roll a die. I gain anchored. Otherwise, I gain 3 boosts. Honestly, this thing is kind of disgusting. I think basically whether you keep this type of thing depends on who you're up against. So I probably would never ever keep this against Ysmir, the faction that has Dorothy, which can send a character to the reserve. But I think I will keep this. Well, it's tricky because it's a 4/4 for 5, which is actually not that great. If it gets the boosts, that's terrific. It's a 7/7/7. But if you get anchored, which is half the time, a 4/4 on turn 5 is just not that impressive. I think I'm going to just send it back. Yeah, we're going to send this thing back. Okay, so this turn, obviously, what I'm hoping is that I can advance in both lanes, because I have this massive advantage, and we do have forest here. My opponent would have to work hard just to even tie me on this 4. It's just a good card. 4 energy for, or sorry, 4 stats for 3 energy is just solid, and then if you start with it for free, it's insane. This, of course, should have gotten a +1 bonus and gone to my reserve, is what should have happened. Okay, so my opponent commits most of their mana to this. This is that weird symbol. It's if you play it from the reserve. That's a strange move because this is going to go to the reserve. I guess my opponent could just play this Foundry mechanic. Oh, right. Of course, they're just going to play this Foundry mechanic to clear up space in the reserve. Okay, so... I mean, let's just keep it simple. My character here hasn't moved. My 3 desert beats their 2 desert. I'm tempted to do this. The problem is that while that would be great to prevent this from going to the reserve and ever getting its effect off, it's an inefficient use of my mana. Also, my opponent can just play this 1/1, and then they would move because they would have 3 water to my 2, and they would also stop me from moving because their 1 desert would tie my 3. I'm not a fan of that particularly. But actually, well, how else do I do it? I guess I could play this and this. You know what? I know what I'm going to do. Okay, here we go. I am going to play this. I'm going to play this. I'm going to give that fleeting. I can't tell. When is it selected? Is it selected now? Or is it selected when it's green or when it's yellow? Oh my god. I can't tell. Target up to 1 cards to gain fleeting. Oh, confirm target. Okay, confirm target. All right. Okay, just want to make sure I didn't throw that away. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. My opponent's going to probably put this thing here to do exactly what I said, to make sure that they move and I don't. And then we're going to roll the dice on this dancer. So if I get the boost, then I move and they still move because of the forest. So we'll both move, and then I'll move over here. If I get anchored, okay, I don't move, but at least I keep it for the next round. And then if I send it to the reserve, not the end of the world, since by default right now, after they put this 1/1 here, I'm not moving. They passed? Why did they pass? Why wouldn't you just... Ooh, okay, so the question is, do I do this? I could roll the dice and see if I get a 1 in 6 chance of getting anchored again, which would send my opponent into a blood-curling fury. Yeah, actually, I have nothing to lose. I have literally nothing to lose, right? Because I'm winning this. Oh, I do have something to lose. If I roll a 1, I will not advance in this lane. Okay, I got a boost. The boost does nothing. Is it correct to take a 1 in 6 chance of anchoring the card, but also a 1 in 6 chance of not advancing in the lane? I don't know. You tell me. All right, so we are ahead. We're 1 space ahead. I did get card advantage there because I sent that back. Well, it was going to fill up the reserve. They were going to have to throw a card away, but I'm guessing they would have just played this. Or maybe they were just never going to play it. I don't know what this person's doing. So we just have a 3-2 for 2, a 3-2 for 2, a 3-2 for 2, or a 2-2 for 2, but it's a resupply. You know, I'm not going to be playing anything from my hand because I'm going to just be playing these. I think that's just the sensible thing to do. I could play 1 and 1 from my hand as well. But I don't need 3 of these, do I? We'll keep this effect that may or may not matter. And see what my opponent wants to do. So my opponent has some card disadvantage. They only have a total of 4 cards to my 5. They're also a step behind, so I'm doing okay for now. This is also kind of the permanent themed thing. Like, they have had no hero power because they haven't played any permanents. It might be bad luck they haven't drawn them. But because they're basically playing a hero power down, I've had an advantage for that reason. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just, I guess, play one of these. Forest and water is what I have here, so we'll play it over here. And then we'll just kind of see where we're at after my opponent plays. Whether I maybe use my hero power on this or commit to this, we'll see. This is a little dicey because it's water. It's actually also forest water like this one. So it doesn't do anything over here in this desert zone, but it is 4 water. So with the water aspect, it'll probably go through. But my opponent could always just, you know, drop a token or something. And okay, I don't really understand this. Why commit your... Okay, sorry. I'm getting testy. And again, this is early days. No one knows how to play this game. I'm probably terrible. This is most likely not a good play. There's no reason to commit 3 mana to this spot. Like, if you're planning to go here and beat me, great. Go ahead and do that later. But first, play your 1/1. Keep me guessing as to what you're going to do. So, I'm going to be playing this for 3 mana. Note that this thing costs 2, not 3. But it doesn't have the battle cry coming out of the reserve. I think what I'm going to do is roll the dice and target my Scald. Oh my god, I got anchored again. Okay, so it's not, I'm not moving, but I will keep it around for the future turn. Oh, right, that's not an action. This is a quick action, so, okay, I forgot about that. Sorry, bad commentary. I am just doing this. I'm committed. Note that this being anchored doesn't change the fact that I don't want to play a card from my hand, even if it weren't for the mana, because if I kept this in reserve and played a card from hand, then the card I played from hand would go to the reserve and I'd have to throw a card away. So my opponent is advancing here. Can they contest me here? They are taking advantage of my 0 mountains with this 2 mountains to advance here. So this is a pretty good turn for my opponent. They are going to advance in both regions, whereas I'm advancing only in 1. So they are catching up here. So maybe I'm being a little bit, oh, what did they do? Oh, they're going to play a permanent. Wait, what? This thing you can throw away from the reserve to make your next permanent cost 1 less. I don't know if is there a 1 mana permanent? It doesn't really... No, it matters. It matters. They just throw this card away. They just threw away this card. They just tossed it in the garbage. They had room in their reserve because this thing is fleeting. So this thing's going in the reserve. And then they're 1/1. Could have stayed in the reserve alongside it. So it was a little strange. Okay, so we're tied. Board space. I do have card advantage lead. They have a 3/3 for 3 that they can play. I start with extra stats on the board. And I drew another dancer. Okay, this is a problem. This is a problem. So I discarded all my, like, big bad beefcake cards early. And now I've got all this junk to play, unfortunately. I could roll the bones with this to see if maybe I resupply into something good. Alright, so this thing is a 1/1/1 for 2, which is terrible. But half the time... it's a 3/3/3 for 2, so, you know, you gotta roll the dice with that. I think we're gonna do it. Oh, do I keep this thing? God, okay, what is my mana? 6? So I could do 3, 5, I don't have a 1. Really what I want to do is like 2, 2, 2 for 6, which suggests maybe I should throw this away, because I'm not spending it this turn. Yeah, if I'm not playing that this turn, I don't want to play it at all. And I could maybe do this. Although, this thing is going into the reserve. So if I play this and these two, I'm actually still throwing a card away. Alright, they got a permanent. Create a 2/2 token. I'm actually really happy about this. So they're going to get their hero power token because they played a permanent. And then the permanent itself made a token. And this is going to make 2/2 tokens every round from now on. So I'm a little bit nervous about that because I'm not actually ahead on the board. However, I am cautiously optimistic that that's all they're going to do this round because they only have 1 card left. So if this isn't a 1-drop, then maybe I can advance in both lanes and block them. Well, that would be amazing. I'd be happy to just advance in both lanes myself, even if they advance in 1 lane, because then on the next round, I can just pile drive a lane, move up once, and as long as I stopped one of their tokens from moving, then they're not going to win. So yeah, I'm happy no matter what happens as long as I move up 2 lanes and my opponent only moves up 1. So they're going to get their token. I'm actually curious where they're going to put this, whether they split it or try to pile drive it. Oh, they're trying to pile drive this one. Okay, well, that's interesting because with my 0 desert cards, I'm probably not actually going to block them here. What I think I'm going to do is... We're gonna roll the dice. We're gonna go here and see what happens. Because I could actually, if I roll 4 or higher, which I did, because I'm rolling 6s today. Papa's getting a new pair of shoes. I'm moving, and I actually can block them here. We got this character, which has lots of desert, and then also this character, which has enough water to move me along. Yeah, we're gonna play. Did they pass? Okay, they passed. This is amazing. So we're gonna go here, just to win that lane and to block them. My forest cards block their forest, and my desert blocks their desert, and my water just is enough to move. Actually, I'm beating them on everything. I'm moving. They're not. Okay, that was great commentary, Boris. And then we are also going to just drop something in here. Which one do I drop? Do I resupply? Let's see. I have 2 things going into the reserve. 3. I think resupplying now is kind of stupid, so we're just going to do this. And then do I roll? Okay, so if I roll and I send something to the reserve, is that bad? Yeah, because losing 3 in anything lets them advance. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I know I said you gotta do it, but this is pretty serious. I need to really just make sure that I move twice. And so now my opponent, I mean, anything can happen in this game. My opponent is in some serious trouble. Do I need desert? Oh, this is a desert only. So keeping 0 desert cards feels dumb. Yeah, we're going to get rid of one of these. I still have the other one. They're the same. And then we'll keep this trickster for rolling the dice. All right, what do we got here? More cheap garbage. Ah, yes, the classic. At least this one has a lot of desert. Is that like this faction's thing of cards have like 0 of one thing and more of the other stuff? I mean, it's pretty efficient. No, return another card from the reserve to your hand. That's pretty cool. Anyways, do I keep 2 tricksters? Oh, this is what the hell? This one costs. Oh yeah, it's like a unique card. It's like a thing. Oh, this only gains 2 boosts on a 4 or higher. Otherwise, it gains 1 boost. This one has a higher reserve cost, but it gets an extra boost. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this one. I don't think I need 2 of those tricksters. Okay, so with 7 mana, 2, 4, 6, not quite. Can't play all of my cards, but I just need to win a single lane. So I guess it should try to be this lane because this is the forest one, and half my cards have no desert. I'm a little bit vulnerable in that regard, actually. Okay, not half. This one is at least a 1 for the desert if I roll poorly. Keep in mind, the most likely outcome of this is that I get a boost. I just have happened to roll 2 6s and get a boost only once. My opponent's smart. They put their free brass bug here, where they know I am more likely to try to pile drive. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to play this, weird as that is. I am going to play this. I want to resupply. I want to see if I get something that can help me win the desert. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Okay, so it's this thing. So this thing is just insane. Obviously, you can roll a 1, and then you get 1, 1, 1 for 3 energy, which is terrible. Or you can roll a 6 and you win the game. So, you know, it's one of those things. Okay, I can only play 1 other card and this. So, yeah, I never kept a card that... Oh, this. I could play this here just to beat the brass bug and put some pressure on my opponent. A lot of their stuff's... They have no cards in hand. This is why you shouldn't play cards from your hand, kids. Yeah, I think the move is I'm just going to play this here. And then we can kind of just see what's up after my opponent commits. They can only play 1 of these. They can only play it in 1 region. So here I'm threatening to win against this brass bug and win the game. So they kind of have to put a thing here to stop me. And then as long as I can get enough desert over here, which actually is not guaranteed. It's so not guaranteed because this might be only 1 desert. This has no desert. Oh, I messed up. I should have played this. Oh God, I just completely messed up. Yeah, I should have played this for 3 forests. It does the same job of yeah, I just got confused. This is the side that has forest or desert. So I should have played this, and then I could have kept this to play over here for 3 desert and just guaranteed win the game. As it is now, we're gonna have to roll the dice to see if I can actually make it. Because if my thing doesn't give a boost and this rolls a 1, then I actually won't make it this round. I could still make it next round, potentially, but like my opponent, I'll be out of cards, and it'll be anyone's game. All right, so they're playing that there, which is obviously the move they needed to make. Now, can I actually beat the... Oh, okay. I don't need to roll the dice, because I could just beat him on forest here. So it's over. But we are going... Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. That would be stupid. We are just going to go ahead and do this. Okay. So now I'm beating them on forest here. They don't have enough mana to play this. They have no cards. They have nothing that they can do. I mean, it's their turn. So they're probably just going to pass. And I am not going to BM roll dice just to make them watch what happens. My opponent did play weird. And I also got some ridiculous luck with my die rolling. Notably, the time I played the Trickster, I won the coin flip. But yeah. It's this faction. This might be the only time I ever play this faction. It just might be. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.